Hello, I'm Tara Overfield. I'm the Associate Director and Choreographer for Come From Away. Come From Away is a musical that's currently playing in the West End and other parts of the world. It's a fantastic story about the events that happened after 9/11. So when the Twin Towers were attacked with the planes that day, we now talk about how the airspace was shut down and 38 planes were diverted to Newfoundland, and it's the story of happiness and peace and people coming together to help one each other out afterwards. It resonates across. I mean, there are so many things happening in our world constantly since that happened in 2001. With the war, with things that are going on right now, we all need to hold out our arms and take hands and look after each other. And it's about people coming together and being there for one another. And you need that all the time. The role of Associate Director and Associate Choreographer takes the original choreography from the creatives, and we do all the cast changes, we take the auditions, we teach the understudies. So part of my process is to make sure I've taken every single detail and maintain it in such a way that when you come to see the show, you should see the same performance every night as if it's the very, very first time that the actors performed it. And part of my job is also to come in and check on the show, note the show, and just remind people, because, you know, actors are human, and people, when you do something the same 8 shows a week, they try to, you know, change it, make it a little bit better in their own way, but actually we usually find the best way is the original way. And so part of my job is to make sure that we stick to what was originally created. So today is our first ever rehearsal for a couple of new cast members that are coming in, and we actually have a return cast member that was in the original London company, and he's coming back actually to be with us for this part of the next process. And today is teaching them. So I've got a couple of people that already know it. I've got one young lady that did it in Australia, so now she's coming here to do it in London, and we've got 2 brand new people. So it's a bit of a disjointed process because some people already have all the history and the knowledge that I'm about to give them, and 2 of them are learning it for the very first time. So the thing I do now is called table talk, and once the actors have got the job, they come into rehearsals. This is the first day. We sit down and we break the script apart and we just talk piece by piece what each character is and what they do. So the section we've just got to now is where they flip very quickly from the passengers to the Newfoundlanders, and they go from one to the other really fast. Thank you. So we'll pick up from the Captain Bristol section, and then I'll start telling you how we flip from one character to the next over this next series. And as Captain Bristol exits, Annette and Beulah continue, and Beulah says, Annette says, don't. Beulah says, for the love of, and she gets cut off with blah, 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 blah. At this point, you will rush on stage and you are Newfoundlanders. And you're saying farewell to all these passengers that have just been on this. So if you all imagine yourself running on and saying goodbye to everybody, we go, Annette, don't, for the love of, blah, 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 goodbye. Thank you for coming. At this point, you're going to feel a sense of relief. And the relief is, oh, I'm so tired, I've been doing this for 5 days. You shouldn't be feeling a sense of relief of, thank God they've gone. So we'll say goodbye, 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 and then if I give you a little click, you're going to go, oh. From the click onwards, from that point, you actually will flip characters again, because your Captain Bristol is gone, he's changed jackets, and he's straight back on as a completely new person. You're going to come straight out as Bob, and you say, we get down to the airport. Now on the word airport, we flip into passengers, and we're at the security line in the airport. So just to reiterate, you come out as Newfoundlanders, you say goodbye, sense of relief that they've gone. We get down to the airport and you flip into your next characters, and Matt will read them for us. So we'll go back on. Annette, don't, for the love of blah, 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 goodbye.
Thanks for coming.
4:18 p.m. There's a 747 with a flat tire blocking the runway. All planes are stopped. No one's taken off.
Welcome back.
Hey, welcome.
Hey, all makes sense, everybody? Great, thank you. I have learnt the show from the original creators of Come From Away. They started this process many, many, many years back in Canada itself. They took the real interviews, real life things happened, and they took all those events and turned it into the musical. There's a lot of Celtic influence in there because the original settlers for Newfoundland came from Ireland and parts of like West England. So a lot of this is brought on from that kind of Celtic world. There's a difference in our style. There's a lot of musicals that I also love that are very stagey and have got a lot of razzmatazz. What's so special about Come From Away is it's so real. It's real stories, real interviews, and we've been able to put them all together in a way where people like yourselves can come and really resonate with it and feel something. The style of the acting is very direct address, so when you're in the audience, you feel like someone's genuinely speaking to you and telling you the story. Well, the choreography is really intricate. When you come to see the show, you might assume that people are just kind of stamping their feet and moving chairs, but actually every single part of the show is choreographed so that you believe that the 12 performers on stage then portray 7,000 passengers that were stranded. They also portray 9,000 Newfoundland people, and by clever choreography, we make everything happen. So that was the hardest thing to learn. So the choreography that's come about because when the creators started to put the show together originally, trying to get 7,000 passengers and 9,000 Newfoundlanders, it became very, very complicated. So the more they stripped it down, the better they found it just to have chairs. And what happens there is the actors will very, very quickly move the chairs in sequence, where, for instance, we put them in aisles and we make a plane. And then within their physical movement, you believe they're on a plane because the way they stand, the way they look out the window. And you'll find when you're sitting on an aeroplane yourself, you realize that you have a different way of sitting and how high you can stand up because of the bulkhead and, you know, where the air button is. So we only simply use a chair to make that happen. And then 2 seconds later, the chairs scatter and we change our physicality and we'll be in the Gander Academy. So everybody's more relaxed, less like you would be sitting on an aeroplane. So the chairs are just how you would use chairs in any scenario, but it's within their physical choreography and actions that you believe we're on a plane, we're in a town council meeting, we're now in a bar. So that's why the chairs are just so useful, because chairs are everywhere. At the end of the show, because it's such a journey, everybody tends to just erupt. They come out of their seats and applaud because there's such a sense of appreciation and a relief that, you know, passengers got home. And by the time we finish the show, it feels like the audience have been on a great journey, and they tend to leave the theatre feeling good and actually taking some of the story into their own lives about being kind and looking out for other people.
Welcome to the Rock.